Good morning. Welcome to those of you here and to all of you that are out there in TV land. We really appreciate our worldwide online community. The very first thing I want to say is we have free Lenten booklets in the store. I skipped a beat there. And they're free. And for those of you that really want one of these Lenten books, Advent books. Wrong season. Advent. We have free Advent books. The Lenten books are not free. You have to pay for those. But the Advent books actually are free, and please get one if you so like it. And those of you that are online, if you send us a little note, we'll send you one if you would love one. We'd love for you to have one. Thank you. We have a brand new mission statement. Isn't it lovely? I've been gone for 2 weeks, so you've been saying this for 2 weeks, and this is my first time saying it, and I'm excited. So let's say it together. We are a vibrant community growing through spiritual practice and love. Isn't that great? I'm Jeff Hunter. I'll be your platform assistant this morning, and if you just take a moment to silence your cell phones, it would be very much appreciated. Thank you. As always, we want to begin our time together by sharing our opening affirmation. And again, full-throated. Let's do this full-throated together. There is only one presence and one power active in my life and in the universe, God the good. All right. This is our foundation principle. One presence, one power, one life living through and as each one of us. This morning, we have a very special Thanksgiving prayer service led by our very wonderful spiritual leader, Reverend Bonnie Barnard. Our music and community song are being led by our own Unity Choir, directed by Janice Mayfield, and accompanied by Scott Jameson. And you wrote this. Didn't you write this song we're singing?
I did, yes.
All right, so we have a lot of talent in this church. And when we're done with the community song, it will be followed by Darlene Walsh-Martin with our reading and opening prayer.
So I think you guys are, maybe after the last couple of services, familiar with this song, so absolutely sing along with us. The choir is glorious as always. I
The reading today is taken from God, A Present Help by Emily Cady. God's gifts are to all alike, but we have to learn how to receive freely that which is given, how to open ourselves to the inflow of divine life through the Christ at the center of our being, exactly as we would open ourselves to the warm rays of the sun. Elsewhere, we have said that all conscious taking or receiving from God is a mental process. The human mind believes itself in the matter of life, cut off from God, a separate being, something apart from God. This belief is not correct. The wire of communication between the Creator and its creations is never cut. The channel of inflowing divine life never closed. Each individual blade of grass receives its life, its springtime renewing force, as direction from the fountain of all life, as if it were the only thing in the universe. Each sparrow draws its life directly from the same source, and you are of more value than the sparrows. And now, as we move into our prayer, let us take a moment to simply relax, to allow our bodies to sink into the chair and be supported. Just as there is firmament that holds the stars in place, there is an energy that aligns my spiritual consciousness with the outpouring of my mental and physical being. There is no separation in me. There is no separation in God. We are not cut off from the divine energy of life ever. This presence of the source of our life, it feeds us, nurtures us, uplifts us, connects us, and blesses us. This presence is closer to us than our very breath and is our very own breath. So I take a moment to shift my attention from the outer world to the inner world and rest in God, rest in good, rest in love. I invite you to do this along with me and say to yourself and feel it within yourself, I am resting in God, resting in good, resting in love. Today is a capital G, good day. I align my thought with the good and the power of God. I am able to restore and revitalize my consciousness. I align my thought and my heart with God, the good. I accept life as the gift that it is, and me as the expression of divine life. As Emerson said, I am an inlet and an outlet of God. God is, I am, and it is good. I bless this service. I bless each one of us. I bless Reverend Bonnie, the choir, Scott, Janice, and all the staff, and each of us here and online. I know something good is happening, and I trust it. And so it is. Amen.
Well, good morning. Whew. It's hot in here. Welcome to all of you here at Unity Spiritual Center Spokane in the sanctuary, and for those of you online joining us today. We have a handful of special services throughout the year, and today is one of those, and I'm really looking forward to it. And we're blessed to have the music of the choir, and we're blessed to have people who pray here and people who are healers to participate in today's service. So if you're here for the first time, just know that today is different, and come back and join us again next week for a more traditional kind of service. So today's service is different because it's very interactive. We're actually, I loved that we shared our new mission that we have today, because our mission is about growing spiritually through spiritual practices and love. And so today as a community, we're going to actually practice a spiritual practice called affirmative prayer. So a little bit about affirmative prayer. Affirmative prayer is New Thought, which Unity is a part of. New Thought is an American spiritual movement, and it started with the Transcendentalists. It includes Christian Science a little bit, an influence from Christian Science. It really started in the late 1800s when there was a desire to learn more about mind and mind science, how the mind can work to support the body and one's livelihood or one's aliveness. And in that process, this inner technology was created, and they call it a science because the invitation to each one of us is to practice it and see directly for ourselves if it makes a difference in our lives. So we're going to be doing that today. It is an inward technology. It's calling forth within each one of us that inner Christ or that inner God or that higher self within. And in the 90s, New Thought used to say, we aren't in the world is in us. Meaning that how we perceive the world, how we see the world is just as important, if not more so, than what is actually happening in that external place, because we share a shared consciousness. So as we shift our consciousness, we shift and we contribute to the uplifting of all of our collective consciousness. So the founder, one of the founders, Myrtle Fillmore, was healed with affirmative prayer, and she was healed from tuberculosis. And what we may not know, unless we studied it in history, is that back when Myrtle Fillmore had tuberculosis, it was the #1 cause of death in the United States, and 25% of our deaths came from TB. 1 out of every 7 people in the United States and in Europe died from tuberculosis. It was a really big deal. This is how it was treated. It was treated with cod liver oil, yum, vinegar massages, oh yeah, and inhaling hemlock or turpentine. And those were ways of trying to rid one from having tuberculosis. So you can imagine when there were revivals around town and this new spiritual technology came about that says, you know, you can heal yourself through the use of your mind, that it was really an attractive proposition. So Myrtle Fillmore healed herself after 2 years of an ongoing prayer that she used, and her affirmation was, I am a child of God, and therefore I do not inherit sickness. And then Silent Unity is the place where a whole bunch of prayers come together 24/7, and they pray for people who submit prayers through Unity churches like ours, as well as through anyone in the world. And they get 2 million calls a year on average, and then they get all of the requests from our centers. So prayer is a very big deal in our own thought and movement. So I want to give my own perspective on the evolution of New Thought. So this is the evolution of New Thought prayer according to Reverend Bonnie. So I'm making some guesses here, but how it started, like I mentioned, was really the healing of the sick, because there were, you know, the practices of the medical community weren't advanced at that point. And so people were taking their healing, rightfully so, in some ways into their own hands. And so New Thought prayer was used initially for the healing of the body. And then after that came using affirmative prayer for prosperity and for success. And I watched a documentary on Bobby Kennedy the other day, and I was reminded that he ran in part on the issue of poverty. That in the mid to late 60s, poverty in the United States was such a significant issue that, again, people turned within, people turned to their own consciousness to say, how can I shift the way I see the world from a place of poverty to a place and a space of sufficiency and abundance. And so we had a whole slew of prosperity and success teachings that came out of New Thought. And Catherine Ponder, who you old timers in New Thought, she wrote the book, The Dynamic Laws of Prosperity in 1962, about that time. And then we have Reverend Ike, who I mentioned last week, whose videos I've just loved going back on YouTube and watching. He started his ministry in 1966, and as his ministry grew, he ended up speaking on more than 1,700 radio stations a week. His message was getting out across the U.S., and he touched 2.5 million people through his radio, including John Lennon. And according to Mary Pang, in one of Reverend Ike's sermons, he had said, whatever gets you through the night. And John Lennon grabbed for a pen and paper and wrote down that lyrics and wrote a song from it. And then the other interesting influence is that Reverend Ike sung with Hank Williams a country western song that was called Mind Your Own Business. And the lyrics were like, mind your own business or you'll be minding mine. Isn't that great? That's such a New Thought concept. Take care of yourself. That's the whole messaging. Then in 1936, ahead of his time, Charles Fillmore wrote a book called Prosperity. And in 1919, Ernest Holmes came out with his book, Creative Mind and Success. So the way that I've seen the evolution of affirmative prayer has been that it was really used as a staple for physical healing, which it still is today. And then it was around treating the mind for prosperity and success. And it's my conjecture that in this next while, we're going to start seeing a movement and a proliferation of books coming out of Unity around peace. That there's so much division that's going on within our own self, which is being projected into our own communities, which is being projected into the world. And so we're seeing it play out. And what we as metaphysicians know, that in order to heal any division, we go within ourselves and own wholeness. We go within ourselves and own peace. And then as we show up, we change the collective consciousness so that there's a different outpicturing in the world. It still to this day is a kind of radical idea. And so we are going to go through a process now of affirmative prayer together. And I want to tell you, first of all, what the first what the 5 steps are. They are, we're going to relax our body. Then we're going to concentrate on God the good. Then we're going to meditate on our own divinity within, and I will lead us through that. Then we will realize or affirm what it is that you want to be, do, or have, what your desire is. And then we will close with appreciating receiving that in consciousness. So how our service is going to work, this next portion of it, and I would like no clapping, like we're going to really enter into this beautiful energy field that's being created. And those of you who are sitting back there are going to want to come forward because we're going to have musicians standing in the very back. And this is what we're going to do. I will lead us in the first 3 steps of the prayer. So I will lead us in relaxing our body, concentrating on God the good, and meditating on our own divinity. So I will lead us through that. And then I will invite the choir to come up, and the choir is going to surround us in little pods. They're going to surround us. And they're going to do a Sanskrit chant that translated is I am thou. And you may join them in the chant if you like. You may sit and just receive it. However you want to participate in that, it is absolutely gorgeous. And then the prayers will step up and join the choir, and we will enter into a prayer chamber like a sound bath. It is during this time where you get to affirm what it is you want to be, what it is that you desire, that you want to have, or what you want to experience. And we do that by speaking I am words. So if I were sitting in the seats here and I was surrounded in a prayer chamber, I may say, I am the presence of joy, or I am joyful. I might say, I am happy, I am fulfilled, I am financially supported, I am well, my body is well, I am at peace. Whatever it is, you get to own it yourself. You can have more than one. And you're just going to sit, and you could speak it out loud. You could speak it to your own inner self. But the deal is we want you to speak it and to feel it. And this is a time we're doing a spiritual practice together as a community. When we're done with 5 minutes of prayer, then the choir is going to start up again and close us with the chant. And again, if you could please withhold any kind of clapping, because what we really want to do is to sink into this yummy energy of the divine presence of God as us coming together in order to claim and to direct the life that we desire. All right? Sound good? All right. So let's go ahead. Let's relax your body. And there's 3 seats up here, there's a couple seats up here, there's some in, and just go ahead and let folks in. Come on down and in. And those of you at home, we invite you to participate as well. This is what we know. We know that there is no time and space in God, and we also know that energy is everywhere present. So I know that those of you at home are receiving the absolute beautiful energy that we are experiencing here in this room and in this space. So I invite you to get comfortable and to relax your body. Let's take a big, nice, deep breath together. And make noises if you'd like. And now kind of wiggle your shoulders, do another breath. Maybe kick your feet on the floor a little bit. Again, move your body, take a nice big breath, and this time really loud. Excellent. Ooh. And now I just want you to be aware that your chair is supporting you. And you can relax your body into it, knowing that your chair is tending to your well-being, that you are fully and completely supported in your chair, just as this divine presence that I call God fully and completely supports you as well. And so now let's place our attention on our heart and breathe in and out. And let's just become aware that this thing that we call God, or we call the field, if you're a neuroscientist or a quantum physicist, the field, or if you're Einstein, energy, whatever name we give it, that out of the seeming nothing comes a something. And so let's focus on this creative power of God that lives within us. This creative power that is able to call something out of nothing. It can call forth right jobs. It can call forth right relationships. It can call forth healing and revealing that this divine inner presence is all potentiality that exists, all possibility. And we can call it forward in consciousness. So right here and right now, we call forth that creative nature of God within us with an open heart. And we know that as God is, that I am and you are. So just allow yourself to breathe in that I too am the divine. I too am divine. I too express the divine. Let's just breathe that in. And so as the choir gets up to surround us, let's just remember that everything that God is, I am. Say with me, God is, I am. God is, I am. And as God is ever so generous, as God is life itself, as God is love, as God is allness, so too all of that resides within each one of us. And so now we listen to the chant that translates as I am thou, and after that we will claim what it is that we are and that we desire. then claiming to ourselves or out loud, that which I am and that which I desire. let's just sit in this energy for a moment. And repeat after me. I am willing to have a good life. I am willing to have a God life. I am the place where good the God shows up. I am the place where God the good shows up. I am the peace that passes understanding. I am the inlet and outlet of God. I am creative. I create a life for myself that is good. I am love. I am the love that I seek. I draw to me the perfect right people. Circumstances, so that I may practice the love that I am. I am a blessing. I am a generous blesser. I accept my life as a good life. And let's sit in this. What an idea. What a radical idea. That in the beginning was God and everything came out of it. That in the beginning was an energy, and out of all of that energy came life, and we, because we are from this energy field, therefore own and experience the presence of the divine within us. Jesus, the Christed one, the anointed one, says, don't look down or up or around for God. The kingdom is right inside of you. So what a radical idea that we sit down to pray, and we're not praying to something beyond us, but we're praying that our consciousness within may be lifted high enough that the God within us can create an answer to our prayers. What an idea. That right where I am, God is. That right where each of us is, God is. And that it fulfills our heart's desire. That we pray, that we receive in consciousness, that we shift who we are, and then we move our feet. How good it is to know that we can never be abandoned by God, for it is us. How wonderful it is to know that we are never outside of love unless we decide to put our attention somewhere else and call it outside of love. That's how powerful we are. We are so powerful that we can decide that God is not. We are so powerful that we can decide that love is somewhere other than right where we are. We are so powerful that we can decide that some people are deserving of our love and others are not. And it makes sense in our minds because the power of God is active within us. And today we take a radical stance for truth, that right where we are, God is, and it is good. And so as we enter this Thanksgiving week and into this holy holiday season, we do so knowing that we are equipped with everything we need in order to show up as the good, the God that we are. We enter into this holiday season knowing that we are prospered by this divine presence, knowing that we are loved by and from this divine presence, knowing that everything we need in creativity exists for us. And so whatever it is that each one of us called forth into form today, I claim it as being fulfilled. Being fulfilled in consciousness and coming forth into fruition, into form. God the good never withholds. God the good says yes, for it is divine love, and it gives us that which our hearts desires. And so I give thanks that today as a community, we claimed our highest good. We blessed ourselves that we may go out into the world and be a blessing to others. And I give thanks for the beauty of the choir's exalted voices and for the musical support of Scott and Janice and for everyone who made this time in spiritual practice possible. I bless each one of us. I call us good. I call God good. And so it is. Amen. How lovely. And now I believe, since we switched up all of the orders today for our special service, now is our time for giving. So if we could please call forth our beloved ushers and anyone in the congregation who'd like to bless the money along with me, please come up. And this is our time of sacred giving that we choose to give so that the cycle of giving and receiving continues. We see this as a holy and blessing opportunity to give forth from the divine presence which we are. So I invite you to take your gift, or if you're a regular giver, through the bank to take your hands and fold them over your heart with or without a giving card. And say along with me this prayer. I know that my giving blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I give and receive. I give thanks for the abundance that is mine to share. so knowing how powerful each and every one of us are, I invite us to extend our hands towards the gifts that are given this day, that we together as a community may bless them. And so I give thanks for the giver, I give thanks for the gift, and I give thanks for the circulation of prosperity through this community of ours. I give thanks that we believe so strongly in this message that there is a good God for us that we embody, that is our very presence and our being, and that we are the difference in the world. And so I give thanks for this teaching, and I give thanks for the support of this teaching. I know that this money is used for right action and for high and holy intent and purpose, and that it in turn blesses this community and blesses those online and blesses our world. And for this I give thanks, and together we say, and so it is. Amen.
What a service. All right, this is one of my favorite parts of the service. Let's all say our unity statement together. Unity stands for peace in the presence of conflict, for love in the presence of hatred, for forgiveness in the presence of injury. Unity honors the many names for God, the many paths to God, for we know there is only one power, one presence, and one life. So whoever you are, wherever you are on your spiritual journey today, you are welcome here, always welcome here. If there's anyone here for the first time and you feel comfortable raising your hand, we have a little welcome packet for you that has a free barista ticket in it, and we would like to welcome you. Is there anybody here for the first time? Okay, we're all friends here. And for those of you that are joining us online to our ministry, we encourage you to sign up for our e-news to learn more about upcoming services, projects, classes, everything that's going on here. This is a busy center. You can sign up for our email newsletter by scanning the QR code you see on the screen and around the center. Or you can go to our website, unityspokane.org. We'd also like to see you and hear from you on the platforms of Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Just search Unity Spiritual Center Spokane to find us. And thank you all for joining us today, and for you out in the World Wide Web. Our chaplains today are Al and Steve, who have been holding the service in prayer for us, and will be available to pray with you immediately following the service. Al will be up here in front. If you have something heavy on your heart, or if you have a joy that you want to share and you'd like to celebrate, please come and see Al. And chaplains, thank you for your service today. And we'd like to encourage anyone here and anyone who is listening to us online, if you need prayer, text us, go to our website. The prayer button is there. We'd gladly support you here at our center and also at Silent Unity. And for those of you that are here today, there are prayer requests in the seat pocket in front of you, and we have 2 prayer boxes, one at the back of the sanctuary, one in the atrium. As we heard today from Bonnie, the beginning of this whole thing was prayer. Prayer started it all, especially healing prayer. Okay, our kids, I think, are arriving, I hope. No kids today? Oh, I'm sorry, Trisha. Oh, I don't want to slight our new employee. I'm so sorry.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. All right, we have a couple details here for this upcoming 2 weeks. We are excited. We have Bringing in the Holiday concert coming up on the 1st. It is going to be $20 per person. Pre-order at the door, it will be $25. So outside of these doors, we're going to have a few folks that are going to be willing to help you sign up and purchase tickets after today's service. We're excited. We have the Ukuleles of Spokane, Heather Vila, and the Vila Blues and Jazz. We're featuring so many other wonderful people, so please go ahead and scan this QR code and put it in your calendars. We're really excited about this. And then just kind of a little sneak peek for something coming in January. We have Delve into the 12. That's going to be with Reverend David McClare. It's going to start January 18th and go through February 29th. It is going to be from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. in the chapel each week. It is, let's see, does it say $125 for the total of 7 weeks? Go ahead and scan to sign up. There are some scholarships available, so you can reach out to Deanna for those and that information. Otherwise, we hope to see you outside of the table to sign up for the first. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Tricia. I didn't mean to slight you. All right, now, kids, let's see if they magically appear. Isn't this amazing? Isn't this amazing? I love it. Oh, well, we're very glad to have you here, all you children, all the people who work with the children. They're integral. But we have a special little assignment right now, and I guess Mr. Jeff is going to do this. Okay.
Special assignment. Today's daily word is no accident. Today's daily word was guidance. And the scripture associated with today's word is, I will instruct you and teach you in the way that you should go. Psalm 32:8. And today we want to recognize somebody very special who has dedicated a lot of time to the kids. I've just started, and you've been doing it, I can't even imagine, Hank. But anyways, Hank Breckling, would you please stand? And Hank, we have a couple of things for you. First of all, we have this live Christmas tree with ornaments, and the kids all chose their color, their power to put on that tree for you. And the hope and the desire is that some play, whether it's your cabin or it's your home, that finds a place in your ground to grow and share the light. We also have a little picture for you. And it reads, all the flowers of all the tomorrows are in the seeds of today. And each of the colors represents a child's fingerprint. So that's all the kids here participated in that, and that is for you as well. And then we also have a card that you can read later. And we just thank you, Hank, for your years of service. And then we want to do one thing really special. Kids, today when we do our blessing, we're all going to do our blessing to Hank, okay? So normally we would say, here we go. Hank, we stand. Be the love you are. be the life we are, sing the song we hear, share our joy of life with people far and near. All right. Kids, you may return to those you brought you. Thank you.
And now, please stand if you are able and join together for our closing prayer of protection and the peace song. Together, the light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And that's the truth.